Welcome to Medieval Mason. In today's video, I will be constructing the unpainted version of the Prancing Pony from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. To begin, I first consulted screenshots of the Prancing Pony from the Peter Jackson film adaptations, as well as examining screenshots from the Weta Workshop model. To ensure that I got the proportions correct, I designed blueprints on Excel and then exported them at the desired scale. If you'd like a copy of these blueprints, I've linked the files in the description below. Once the blueprints were printed, I then cut them into their individual components. After cutting out the walls from insulation foam, I then began assembling the parts with generous applications of hot glue. After all the main components of the inn were assembled, I reattached the patterns to ensure I had the desired look. These were then removed and their pattern transferred directly to the foam via permanent marker. To mimic the Tudor-style split timbers, I cut out some thin beams of foam and gave them a wood texture with a wire brush. Since I wanted to illuminate the first story windows, I cut slots in the walls using an X-Acto knife. To make the doors, I first textured a piece of foam with a wire brush, and then cut the board marks with an X-Acto knife. Following this, I added nail holes with the point of my compass. With the doors in place, I continued adding beams across the model. To make the roof, I cut up several boxes of thin cardboard and secured them to the model with hot glue. To make the chimneys, I cut out some very small bricks of XPS foam and tumbled them to give their edges a beveled appearance. These were then affixed to the model with hot glue. I did not worry about gaps, but filled these in after the main brickwork was complete. To make the shingles, I first made a series of evenly spaced marks on foam strips. I then used my Proxxon hot wire cutter on a very low setting to carefully cut out a shingle pattern while trying to make sure that each shingle was unique and reflected a rough, weathered appearance. I then used a wire brush to texture the tops of the shingles before slicing off very thin layers of the master copy. Full credit to the Blackmagic Craft channel for popularizing this method. To apply the shingles to the model, I used a layer of tacky glue under each row to establish a solid hold. This allowed me the time to ensure that each row was slightly offset from the row beneath. To make the rough stone foundation, I used my signature Great Stuff foam bricks, cast from my homemade mold. If you'd like to see a video on how these are made, I've placed a link in the description. The final step was to age the wooden elements of the model. This was achieved by installing a fresh X-Acto blade and using the sharpened edge to bevel the support beams and add other aging imperfections. In the next video, I will be completing this build with a series of paint coats and washes.